go, see if that's better. I made some changes and I put us up a part 2 here. Let's see what happens if that's any better. I'm sorry, Bobby. I'm sorry to everybody. I don't know what's going on. I do know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I do know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I do know everybody. I don't know what's going on. Let me put it to you this way. When you start telling the truth, when you start, hold on, because this is here, no lies come from here. Do not fear the word of the Lord. He is the word of the Lord. The Bible is the word of the Lord. When you start telling the truth about the adversary and the people who work for him and what they're doing to all of you, they're going to find any way they can to move their little selves and muck about with my things. My Wi-Fi is going down again, and I just restarted and fixed everything. I see. Sorry about that, Bobby. I'm sorry about that, folks. Let me do my thing, my commercial for Zen Garcia's Sacred Word Publishing, Zen, Joy, and Justice Babies. But sacredwordpublishing.com for all your esoteric needs. Hard to find print scripture, books that are, and commentary that you won't find anyplace. So, again, here we go. So we're going to get into right now the reason, one of the things I promised I would go over tonight, and that's why I came back on, because normally we're almost 20 minutes in, and I would have just let it go. But I promised Christopher, that I would go over this that he had brought to my attention. Oh, yeah, and again, the young lady who said she had the prophetic dream, please, right underneath your link to your video so I can watch it. I lost that information because I didn't have the live chat replay. You know, I'm old. I did a lot of drugs and alcohol, and my head sometimes don't work good. I want to show this for a minute. Let's see. Did I cut? Let's see if that's still working. So, come on. How about oh boy, I gotta go. I gotta do some preparations tomorrow for Sunday. I'm gonna be playing, hopefully, in church. There's Paul and John. God did. Yes, the enemy will attack. The enemy will attack. Well, see, the Wi-Fi is acting wacky. Yeah, it looks just like. Oh boy, that's bad. Can't do that. What's wrong with you, Ron? Oh, hit the button. No, get it back. I gotta cut that off. What's wrong with you, Ron? Yeah. I'm a little wacky. That's what happens when you're, a little wacky. All right, let's go back to the other program that I want to show you. This gentleman right here. Yeah, this guy.
At gunpoint and put in prison. The heavens are a dome that arcs over the flat earth.
Yes, they are.
The sun, the moon, the stars, they're all just little balls of light.
Okay. I'm going to use his video, which makes fun of the people, to show you some things, okay? So, in the Bible, the firmament, our king created the firmament, him, this guy. This is the firmament, the dome above our heads. It holds the water above from the water below. Yes, the water above from the water below. When you're outside, when they say humidity, they mean the amount of moisture in the air. So we're all fish. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it's true. So this is where we live, basically. But the center, I'm not going to go into that. We'll talk about that at another time. The reason I'm showing this is so you understand something. In the center of the dome, above our heads, right? It's where the moon comes from, and the sun, actually. They reflect off the dome and come down as points of light. That's why there's a map on the moon. We'll go into that later, too. But I'm showing you this video because I want you to see
In the sky that move around just above the Earth's surface. There are loads of people who actually believe this. YouTube channels and Facebook pages, you see hundreds of thousands of followers. Google searches for the term flat Earth proof over time look like this. It's become incredibly popular. And recently, a poll showed that only 84% of Americans agree with the statement, I have always believed the world is round. 84%. And if you're 18 to 24, that's more like 66%, which is like dangerously close to half. What is going on here?
Now, the North Pole is the center of a deep ocean, whereas the South Pole is the center of a high plateau, which averages 7,000 or 8,000 feet in altitude.
This is frustrating. And
That's the ice wall.
Even more frustrating to understand it. All I see is coverage of like flat earther conventions and like interviews with these people.
We absolutely know for a fact this ain't it.
These interviews are interesting, but I want to understand like how someone with a thinking brain can actually get behind this. What is this actual belief? Where does it come from? And how do potentially millions of people believe that the earth is flat?
The water is completely flat. As far as we can see and as far as we've measured, and the horizon is completely flat.
I'm in Mexico now. I've been sitting on the beach reading everything there is to read about the history of people who believe the earth is flat. And there's one thing that I just had to try for myself.
This is a simple experiment that anybody can conduct to determine definitely that the
Did they? Found this hardware store, bought myself a level. Gracias, amigo. And I'm bringing it with me on the airplane. I'm going to do some of this empirical science myself.
If you are to fly on a non-rotating Earth, please explain what kind of experience will a pilot really have.
The logic goes that if the Earth is round and I'm flying thousands of miles, which I'm about to do, then the airplane will have to be tipped a little bit the whole time in order to make it around the curvature of the Earth.
the plane should be constantly dipping its nose forward in order to compensate for the curvature.
Show me something. I would be able to see the tilt of the airplane if I put my newly purchased level on the tray table in front of me.
I'm going to take my spirit level onto the plane.
If my tool shows me that the plane is totally level,
That's proof that the Earth is flat.
let's go see what happens. Can somebody explain to me duty-free? Why perfume? Why is there so much perfume in duty-free?
It never dips. They never dip it. It never does. Flat the whole time.
4 hours on an airplane, and
4 hours.
My little level experiment worked wonderfully. The bubbles stayed nice and center. Turns out the plane was not dipping its nose in order to make it around the Earth. This is explained by the basics of gravity and physics. And they work really to understand what sorts of tools are being used to prove the world is flat. So here we go.
I'll put the link for this in the bottom after. I wanted to show you that little part. This guy makes fun of everything, and the next thing he does is he talks about a scientist in the 1800s who called himself Parallax. Man, it's the Wi-Fi is messing up again, but I ain't touching anything. He called himself Parallax, and he did an experiment at a canal in England that's 12 or 14 miles long. Took a boat, sat in the boat with a spyglass, sent his buddy with a flag in the other boat 12 miles away. Miles is many hundreds of feet of curvature in the ball. He should not be able to see the flag or the man, but he could see him the entire way to the end. And this guy in this video, after he goes through talking about all of that perception, what we see is a flat Earth. But it's not really that, because we have pictures from NASA, and we were taught in school that all these Greek and scientists and other scientists did these tests that say we're on a ball and we're spinning. That's all horse crap. There are no scientists that have ever done any tests. NASA has. You know why people get killed in the Bermuda Triangle? Because that's where the rockets land. And if you see it and you run to tell somebody, you can't do that. So, bye-bye. Now, here's the thing that I want to share with you so you understand something. I'm going to put it in the chat now if I can get it to work. The reason I'm explaining this to you and telling you this, right? And many people are going to be like, this makes no sense. Why are you talking about this, Ron? Who cares? Why does it matter? It's to me, it doesn't have anything to do with my daily life or what goes on. Well, I'm going to explain to you exactly why it matters, and especially for you, my dear friend, Christopher. Especially for you, Christopher. This is our king. And he built all of that because not a thing was made without him. And without him, nothing was made. Why does it matter? Why? Because there's our realm that we live in, and then there's the spirit realm, the hidden realm, the realm that the great restrainer keeps a curtain in front of. So we cannot see spirits, demons, any of those things, unless they make themselves visible to us. Why does it matter whether it's a ball or not? Well, if all of what I've said is true, then there are no other planets. So who are these things jetting around in the skies? Angels. Just because they drew and painted them with wings, it was to let you know they could fly. But there are paintings from the whenever. There are ancient paintings with little UFOs